Huzzah! We are officially live. Cheers to anybody who tunes in or watches this after it goes live and posts onto YouTube. Thank you for anybody who watches this. And as always, when I do these live shows, you gotta wait usually a couple minutes for people to tune in. Although I just got 2 thumbs up. Thank you. I appreciate that. I think it's always funny when it shows there's more thumbs up than viewers. I guess it has to catch up. Hello, Brighton Vlogger. How are you? Thank you so much for tuning in with me tonight. I think you're over in the UK, I believe. I could be mistaken. But how's everyone doing tonight? I figured I would just jump on here and talk some movies with anybody who is around. I just got out of a hot shower, and it is hot. I take hot showers even in the summertime, so all the time it's hotness. Dylan Flickinger, what's going on? I'm very well, thank you. How are you? I'm doing well. I'm doing all right. Hanging in there. Best cinephile on YouTube. Fruity Gangster, thank you. I appreciate that. It's big talk. But what's everybody watching tonight? I plan to... I started a movie before. I'm planning on finishing it. It's Dillinger, which is really good. I've seen it a long time ago, but got to rewatch it because it's been a little bit. It's the Arrow Video release, and they always do just a cracking job on their releases. One of the best companies out there releasing. And then crazy news today and yesterday too. Tons. I got so many messages about Scream Factory releases coming up, especially the Poughkeepsie tapes, because I've been talking about the Poughkeepsie tapes for years on here. Every Halloween I usually mention it when I do those Halloween videos. And then I recently did the top 10 movies that need horror movies that need a Blu-ray release, and that was my number one choice. And don't be mad at me, but I already filmed the top 20 horror movies that need a Blu-ray release video. I just haven't edited it and posted it yet. So when I post it, don't be like, the Poughkeepsie tapes already has a release. I know, but I already filmed it and I don't want to redo it. But yeah, so many releases got announced. I think Hell Night was kind of hinted at. I think they accidentally mentioned it and then like pulled the mention. But Hell Night with Linda Blair, I always enjoyed that one. So that would be great. And then apparently Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead, I think, is getting one. And then Land of the Dead too. Just reading through the comments. Yes, I live in England. See, I do have an okay memory. I remember that. Jesse Midnight Crawler, what's going on, man? Cheers and beers to you, man. Humanoids from the Deep. Awesome. That's cheesy fun. It's been a while since I've seen that one. But I remember that one being pretty entertaining as well. Reading the comments. You get more good looking every time I see you. Well, thank you so much, Brighton Vlogger. I need to do more of these the live streams. I enjoy this boosting of the self-confidence. I appreciate it. I came here to drink. Awesome. Scott Travis. Jeff Overing, what's going on? Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. I didn't hear about that. Dylan Flickinger. Joan Lee Stanley's wife passed away. I know David Cronenberg's wife passed away, too. Sci-Fi Horror Fan, what's going on? Big ups to Sci-Fi Horror Fan. Check out his channel. Really nice guy. Always tags me on Instagram and always very active in the community, which is awesome to see. Hell Night, yes. Hell Night with Linda Blair. Supposedly getting a Blu-ray release. Apparently it was like briefly mentioned and pulled, I guess, but yes. The Doors movie, Watching Hope 4th of July as well. Very cool. So, yeah, I mean, that's big. A lot of big news coming out for Blu-ray releases. Land of the Dead, the Zack Snyder Dawn of the Dead, which already has a release. I'm kind of one of those things. I was so happy when Scream Factory released the Poughkeepsie tapes, because I've been complaining about Scream Factory. I'm like, I forgive you everything. That, you know, usually when they do the deluxe editions where you pay $15 more for a slipcover and an extra poster, I'm usually not a fan of that. And then they keep releasing movies that have already had like 10 other releases. For instance, Dawn of the Dead, Land of the Dead. I mean, they already have releases. But I forgive everything because of the Poughkeepsie tapes. It's about friggin' time that had a release. I'm so excited for that one. I'm going to pre-order that ASAP. The pre-order of the Universal Monster Classic Steelbooks. Actually, I'm not sure where I was at Zavvi or something, because actually I don't know if I've seen those ones. I remember the old one that was on Zavvi before for Creature from the Black Lagoon, which I thought was awesome. I still wanted to get that one. Yeah, Innocent Blood would be a good choice too. There's still a whole bunch of ones that deserve. Alice Sweet Alice is another one. Slaughter High. Killer Party, a whole bunch of the Best Buy exclusives. All right, I gotta peep that out. Was that recently announced? Because I don't remember. I'm part of all these different groups on Facebook, Blu-ray, horror stuff. I don't remember everybody posting about that one. That's weird, but I will definitely look into that. Thank you very much, Fruity Gangster. I appreciate that. I always like the intel. That's one of the things that I love about making videos on here on YouTube. I found so many cool movies that I never knew about before. Talked to so many great people on here, and just hearing all the movie news and information that you might not have known about otherwise. A lot of my friends, they're just more casual movie fans. They're not like really into movies like obviously I am, and the people on here that are viewing and making videos and talking on here are. Yes, I have tried the Guinness Blonde beer. I think you tagged me in that or sent me a picture of it. I remember not being a fan of it. I remember trying it like 2 years ago and not being a big fan of it. But maybe I should give it another chance. I mean, I've had beers sometimes where I hated it and then I tried it again later and I loved it. So sometimes it depends on, that batch as well. But yes, I love the Coen brothers. Who doesn't like the Coen brothers? I've got 2 eyes, 2 ears, and a heart. Of course I love the Coen brothers. I have the Coen brothers box set over here in the other room, actually. Yes, Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. That's a good one. I think, I believe I have the Universal one with the cool slipcover for that over here somewhere. I still need to organize my collection. My collection is not alphabetized or organized. I have all the horror Blu-rays separate. Like this is all horror Blu-rays right here, and then some right there, and then I have some over here, and then some in the other room as well. But this is the majority of the horror Blu-ray section, not including like Arrow and stuff like that, and Steelbooks and Criterion, Twilight Time, companies like that. But yeah, I know I have that Abbott and Costello one somewhere, and I'm gonna alphabetize. I'm gonna do a video of me, like not a full video. Oh, here it is right here. I do have it right there. That's a beautiful slipcover for it too. But I'm going to do a video like organizing, alphabetizing my collection. Obviously, it would take hours, but I'm just going to do like a couple ones where I pull a movie out and talk about it while I'm doing the process of alphabetization. That's a word. I do not smoke weed. I feel like you might have asked that before. Somebody asked me that before. Last time I smoked weed was like 13 years ago, something like that. When I was in high school, I did, yes. But it's not something that interests me anymore. The only thing I do now is I'll have a couple beers here and there. That's about it. But what's my favorite movie? My all-time favorite movie? If you're new to the channel, it's John Carpenter's The Thing. That's the Japanese poster for it right there. John Carpenter's The Thing is my all-time favorite movie. Again, I love movies with a snowy setting, that sense of isolation, paranoia, it's just incredible. Rob Bottin's practical effects, the whole cast, Ennio Morricone's score. The cinematography was amazing too. Carpenter's directing. I just love the heck out of the movie. I've seen it more than any other movie I've ever. I've seen so many different movies over the years, but that one I want to say I've seen over 100 times. So, hold on, just scrolling through the comments again. Do you think it is the end of Chucky as the cult of Chucky went straight to Blu-ray? No, because I'm pretty sure Curse of Chucky did too. I'm pretty sure that was a direct-to-video one also. I do wish Cult of Chucky and Curse of Chucky would have gotten theatrical releases because they released every Paranormal Activity movie, the Saw movies, and I prefer the Chucky movies over those movies. So it's really about the money, essentially. That's what I think. And hopefully, I thought Curse of Chucky was received pretty well in the horror community, so I really thought Cult of Chucky had a chance to go theatrical, and I really wish it would have. All the mainstream horror movies that I've seen haven't been that great. There's a few exceptions here and there, but there's so many ones that are released that I'm like, how does this get a theatrical release over, Cult of Chucky? It's a established horror franchise with a horror icon. Granted, I could see like ones like Hellraiser when they reuse or use different actors for Penhead instead of Doug Bradley. I get that, but I really wish Cult of Chucky would have gone to the theaters, at least even limited. I'm starting a Criterion, scan that Arrow collection for us. My Arrow collection is like scattered right now, so it's not a good representation. I have some Arrow right there. There, I have a whole bunch of Arrow titles in the other room. And then right here, too. This is not a good representation at all. I filmed like an Arrow video complete collection video like a while ago, and I just never edited it and posted it. And so every time I got like a mail day in, I would add like another edit to it, and I still haven't posted it. So yeah, it's not a good representation at all because I have it like a little bit everywhere in the other room. Here's the rest of the collection in So yeah, this is all. Yeah, I was watching Dillinger. I have it paused right now. I took a hot shower. I was like, I need a break, and figured I'd hop on here real quick. That's the DVD collection, DVD horror collection. Regular DVDs over here, and then I still have a couple boxes of DVDs and Blu-ray box sets I still have to get out. And then Blu-rays, some 4K titles, and I've got more 4K titles there, and then in the office where we were just at. And here's some more Arrow titles right there. Dillinger, of course, is an Arrow release. So, yeah. So, some sets up there, some sets down there at the bottom. There's the Coen Brothers set as well. And there's my dog chilling. And let's go ahead and check out the rest of the collection in here, the office space. There's the bus sets up at the top. Here's Criterion collection. I still have a few Criterions in the other room, but this is the majority of the Criterions. Porter Shadows so needs a Blu-ray release. Love that one. Secret Honor as well. One of my favorite Altman films. I think Carnival of Souls just got a Blu-ray release. I need to upgrade the old DVD, although I do dig that DVD artwork. But yeah. And then here's some more Criterions. And then Twilight Time, Disney, and then Obstructed from View are Blu-ray TV shows and seasons. And then I just have random stuff like all over the floor. There's Eaten Alive, which is an Arrow title. And then Steelbooks, Digibooks, Arrow. Again, scattered though, because I have a lot in other rooms still. All right, so Straw Dogs. Yes, I need to pick up Straw Dogs. I loved the original Straw Dogs movie. I never saw the remake though. What are the best box sets you have? Again, that's subjective. That's such a tough question. I'm like looking through here. Are we talking about like box sets of just like limited edition collector sets, or are you talking about box sets of different movies and stuff like that? I'll tell you my favorite box set, and probably one of the favorite things in my collection is this Japanese Heat Box edition, which I've shown before. It's a DVD set for Suspiria in deep red, and it looks all black right there like that. But if you apply some heat right there on the front cover or on the back cover or the spine, and you apply a little bit of heat, it reveals an image underneath. This was like the most expensive and probably rarest thing in my collection. And I've only seen like one other person on here have it. That's one of my favorites. But there's a lot of great releases. You've got the Classic Monsters collection down there, the Alien anthology set, the Chucky set. There's some great releases out there, some great bargains. But let me scroll through the comments because I think I missed a bunch of comments where I was just going through the collection. Is that poster an original? Which poster? The Thing? The Japanese one? No, it's a reprint because the original Japanese poster is actually a smaller size, and I wanted to get the biggest size possible, and that was the reproduction. And it looks pretty good framed up. When you take it out, like reproductions, you can tell most of the time that they're reproductions, and you can tell once you take it out that it is, but inside the frame, you can't tell. But do you think it is... Okay, now I read that one. I'm starting a Criterion collection. What movies do you recommend? Depends on your genre. Like, I'll tell you a few of my favorites Criterion collection-wise. The Three Colors trilogy is a classic. That would be a great one to start out. If you like horror, I'd say Eraserhead Persona is really good. But if I can find it, I was looking for Rosemary's Baby. Here we go. Rosemary's Baby's one of my favorite releases. Repulsion was excellent as well. There's so many great films. They used to call Criterion Collection Film School in a Box back in the day. And I think that's still true. I found so many great films because of that company. Trying to look at some of the other ones on here that are some of my favorites. Again, Port of Shadows, I absolutely love. You got to have some Kurosawa, Seven Samurai, the Pooh trilogy, Dazed and Confused. You know, I think that's kind of like a modern classic. The Great Beauty was one that I really loved too. It's a recent one from 3-4 years ago. I can't recall which year it was now, but I'm trying to. I know there was another one here that I wanted to mention. Man. Well, Vampire was one that I'm going to give you guys a little sneak peek. This is on my top 20 horror movies that need a Blu-ray release. And scrolling through, La Haine is one of my favorite black and white movies, one of the best modern black and white movies. Robinson Crusoe and Mars, one of my all-time favorite movies. So I'd obviously recommend those. Days of Heaven, that's a classic for sure. One of the probably Malik's best, in my opinion. The Fisher King is might be my favorite Terry Gilliam and favorite Robin Williams film. Not the typical what you think for Robin Williams, but I know there was a movie in here that I was thinking of when you initially asked that, and now I can't find it. It's not popping out in my memory now for some of the Criterion Collection ones to check out. I thought it was right around, I think it was the same year that The Great Beauty came out. And I can't find it. But there's so many great releases on Criterion Collection. I have not been disappointed yet. And I'm probably not going to find the one that I'm looking for, because if I'm trying to search for it, I won't find it. That's always the case, it feels like to me. But yeah, I'll go ahead and just scroll through again real quickly for these ones for some of the Criterion Collection. I do like the Digipack ones. A lot of people don't like the Digipack editions, but I dig the heck out of them. And here's some more. And then here's the DVD ones. There's a few Blu-ray ones right there. This one I don't know, I'm probably going to get rid of it. I don't think I really want to rewatch that one again. But, and then here's the ones from up here. I don't think I showed this top shelf. I know it's really bothering me. I really want to why can't I friggin' find it? You know, I'm actually worried now. Blue is the Warmest Color was the one that I was trying to find right there. I absolutely love that movie, and it was one of my favorites from the year that it came out. I think it might have been the same year as The Great Beauty. But yeah. All right, I probably missed a lot of comments. Forgive me. Let me scroll through here. Hounds of Love. I haven't seen Hounds of Love. What's Hounds of Love about? Yes, I do have Runaway Train. Hold on, my phone just dimmed. Hopefully that doesn't, Mayweather versus Conor. I think Mayweather is gonna kill Conor McGregor. I think that's kind of it's a novelty fight. It's one of those things that everybody's gonna say, you know, it's like an event more so than an actual fight experience. I saw John Carpenter's The Thing, Emu. That's the one that I saw over 100 times. Yes, I do like boxing. I thought Pacquiao got hugely robbed by the Hornet. The PQ on Runaway Train, I remember it being pretty decent, but I know somebody said that there was a release over in the UK, so I don't know how that compares to that. I had the old DVD for it, and I thought it was an upgrade over the DVD. What do you have your eye on getting the next Criterion sale? I have a crazy wish list of Criterions. All right, let me just scroll through the comments again. Thank you for the like, Aaron Wilt Jr. If I held a gun to your head and said what my top 5 films of all time, I feel like I actually recently posted about that. My top 5 favorite movies of all time: John Carpenter's The Thing, Vanilla Sky, then probably It's a Wonderful Life, A Bronx Tale, and Last of the Mohicans. Those are probably my top 5 all-time favorite movies. And it's kind of a hard decision, but I know like most of those ones are always on my top list. Some of my other favorites, Taxi Driver, Return of the Living Dead. 30 Days of Night has become like one of my all-time favorite movies. That's one I've rewatched so many times. That's a really tough question. Well, those those were more than 5 right there. But yeah, those are the top 5: John Carpenter's The Thing, Vanilla Sky, It's a Wonderful Life, A Bronx Tale, and Last of the Mohicans. Those would probably be my top 5. I used to have... I don't have too much Region B stuff anymore, but I used to have a Region Free player. It stopped working, got rid of it. I haven't gotten a new player, so I don't really have too many Region B stuff now. What do you think Criterion Collection is going to release? I'm not sure. There's so many ones that they could release. I have a wish list for that. Actually, I have a notebook full of like video topics. That was one of the ones with Criterion Collection movies that deserve a Criterion Collection release. And there's so many ones that I need to take off because I never made the video. Now they have Criterion Collection releases. Yes, Dazed and Confused is a classic for sure. Richard Linklater, I really like Slacker. I feel like Slacker is one of those films that if you want to make a film, you need to watch, especially like an indie type film. I thought John Wick 2 was just as good as the original, but a little too derivative. It's like the same kind of thing, same kind of formula. So I hope they switch it up a little bit more in the third one. But you could definitely tell Keanu Reeves trained a little bit more. The action sequences were better. Do you like Catherine Deverneau? I think it spelt it wrong. Yes. She was excellent. She was stunning. She's been in a bunch of Criterion Collection movies. That's how I really got acquainted with her. In fact, Criterion Collection. Did you get the Sinbad set from Indicator? No, I haven't. I haven't picked up anything from Indicator yet. I know of Indicator. Are their releases region free or not? Let me know about that. Favorite horror movies. Again, John Carpenter's The Thing is my all-time favorite one. Return of the Living Dead is another one. The original Dawn of the Dead. The original Dead trilogy in general. 30 Days of Night has become one of my favorites. Blood Diner is one of my favorites. Tourist Trap is another one of my favorites. Just Before Dawn is another one of my favorites. The original House on Sorority Row. The original My Bloody Valentine. So I like a lot of the classic slashers. I feel like a lot of these ones didn't get quite as much recognition up until like a few years ago when they were getting like special edition releases and stuff like that. Yes, I love old TV horror films. I'll take that. I just might sell it to you, in fact. So the Salo 120 Days of Sodom. It's funny, I was just talking about this with one of my friends who wants to make a YouTube channel, but he wants to do, I think, most of like politics and current events and stuff like that. I think he wanted to name it, or he had a podcast idea name or a YouTube channel name. I think it was called Common Sense for Common Gents, which I think is really catchy. I dig it. I hope he does it. But we were talking about Salo. He was in my fraternity together. We both went to Rutgers, and he took a film class, and they showed Salo, and he walked out. So, because we were talking about, I did the big video that I did years ago on my old channel was a review for a Serbian film. And that to date is still the video that has the most views for me. I think it has like 150,000 views, so that's the biggest video I ever did. And I've never been able to regain that success. But then again, I haven't really, I think, fully put in the effort that I see other people doing on here. I definitely would like to, but it requires, more work, more time, a better computer, better editing software. So yeah, just scrolling through. Vanilla Sky. I love Vanilla Sky. I feel like Vanilla Sky gets a bad rap because A, it's an American remake, but it far surpasses the original Open Your Eyes. B, it has Tom Cruise. He gets a lot of negativity because Scientology, but to me, he's still a great actor. And then it was Cameron Crowe. A lot of people don't like him either, but he's done some great stuff as well. For me, Vanilla Sky is an all-time masterpiece, one of the best movies. Again, for me, it's my second favorite all-time movie. A lot of people didn't get it. I feel like that's part of the thing too, the confusion. But it's an experience, is what I call that film. It's also the film that first exposed me to the Icelandic band Sigur Rós, which was incredible. That soundtrack was amazing. The cinematography, just mind-blowing. It's one of those films that I'll just never forget. It's one of those ones where when I watch that movie, it just changes my emotion. Brings me back to that time period. Oh yeah, Matthew Duffy, more power to you. Vanilla Sky is far superior than the original. Yeah, again, it's funny. I talk about my top 5 favorite movies. You can call it a reimagining, a different adaptation. John Carpenter's The Thing, that already had previous, vision essentially with The Thing from Another World, and the Vanilla Sky's a remake. Last of the Mohicans already had a previous adaptation release, so that's kind of funny in a way that those are some of my favorite movies. 3 of the top 5 could be, already ones that were done. Even Maltese Falcon is a fantastic remake. The one with Humphrey Bogart, that was a remake. So yeah, even Ben-Hur, the one that you always think of, Charlton Heston, that was a remake. Yes, that's amazing. You got to see them live. Which film wrenched the most tears from your ducts? Blow. The movie Blow with Johnny Depp was really like the movie that might have been like the last movie that made me cry. That and I Am Sam. Those are the 2 ones that come to mind when I think about it. But at the time when I saw the movie Blow, it was a time in my life where I was hanging out with some shady people, doing some shady stuff, and it just like hit me. And I was like, wow, I gotta change my life, because the end scene, he basically gets screwed over by everybody in his life, especially every girl in his life. And then his daughter, he has that vision of the daughter, and she never comes and visits. And Carl Jung, the guy that was based on, he's still alive. He was released from prison, I'm gonna say like 2 years ago. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, that for me, that was like a life-changing movie. I remember I watched it with the girlfriend I was seeing at the time, who we were together for like 4.5 years, and yeah, I remember we were driving back, and I was floored. I like cried, and she had no idea. I was explaining to her, what how it affected me. But yeah, Below was one that just punched me in the gut. I Am Sam was another one too. Hold on, I want to scroll through the comments because I've totally missed a bunch. Yes, I have seen Green Street Hooligans, the first part. It's funny because my best friend growing up, that was like his favorite movie, and I was not a fan. I thought it was Charlie Hunnam's character was too over the top. I couldn't picture Elijah Wood in that character role. You could have put it was like Grimace trying to be a tough guy, or Ronald McDonald trying to be a tough guy. It just didn't work. It felt too out of place. I didn't like the casting. It was just too over the top for me. But I know a lot of people love Green Street Hooligans, the first one. No, I've not seen Sunrise. Do you recommend it? Obviously he's a well-known director, so Parents with Randy Quaid. Hated it. In fact, it's the only Vestron video release that I got rid of in my collection, because I remember watching that movie when I was a kid, and I remember enjoying it. And I watched it now, and it was unwatchable to me. It was that and like Microwave Massacre were 2 of the worst ones that I remember watching recently. Favorite Tarantino movie? I have to say Pulp Fiction for me. Pulp Fiction is amazing, but I mean, here's the thing. Tarantino pays homage to so many different films. Reservoir Dog, there were so many scenes in there that were just almost shot-for-shot remakes. But I love The Hateful Eight, and The Hateful Eight has some, for me, John Carpenter's The Thing's my all-time favorite movie. You could see some homage and he was affected by that film as well. I think he used part of Ennio Morricone's score, unused score from The Thing. Yes, Original Black Christmas was super freaking creepy. The ending to that one always stayed with me. I was one of those ones that I had to stay up at night. Do you like Trump? Oh, we're getting political. I don't know if we want to get this. Everybody's so angry one way or the other. I'm more in the middle, I would say, as far as politics wise. I don't really lean more right or left. I'm more aligned to the right, but I'm more in the middle. But no, I am not a fan of him personally, just because of the things that he's said. It's just hard to imagine that. But yeah, I mean, I'm holding out hope that he will do good things. That's the best that I can say. So yeah, just hold it in, stay off Twitter. You won, let it go. But yeah, hopefully I hate that freaking handshake he does. That's so crazy to me. If somebody gave me a handshake like that, I would punch them in the face. I don't understand that. That is so insane to me. Yeah, alright, here's the thing. If we're gonna get political, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you I'm a registered Republican, but I did not vote for Trump. That's all I'm gonna tell you. I really think Bernie Sanders got screwed out of the situation, even though I'm not the hugest fan of a lot of his beliefs as well. But to me, I think Trump kind of divided the Republican Party. And it was just crazy to me to see. All right, well, enough of that, though. Your thoughts on Intruder, Madman, and Pieces. Madman is a slasher that I think is very unique. It kind of looks like the Jack Link's Sasquatch guy. His movements and the long hair. He reminds me of the Jack Link's like beef jerky Sasquatch guy. But Intruder to me is a slasher classic. It's one of my all-time favorite slasher classics. I actually need to get the Blu-ray of that still. I know there was like a work print cut special edition that's like super rare. That's the one I really want to get. Pieces to me, I'm not a big fan of Pieces. There's so many different releases for that now. But I do like the director's other film, especially Slugs. He did Slugs. I love that one. It's super cheesy, I know, but super creepy as well. Is Dillinger good? I'm watching Dillinger right now. I saw it a while ago and I'm rewatching it, and I feel like if you like movies like Untouchables and things like that, or gangster kind of movies in general, I think you'll appreciate it. Wow, Sunrise is your favorite movie. Can you do me a favor? Can you leave that as a comment once this video stops going live and is posted to YouTube? Because I will totally forget that. And when you say something big like that, it's your favorite movie, it makes me want to see it for sure. Hold on. Scrolling through. Tips for making a film-based YouTube channel. That's a good question, Charlie Redmond. I get this question all the time, in fact. Tips and recommendations for YouTube channel. The biggest thing I can always recommend is consistency. Upload consistently. Upload. If you're going to upload 2-3 times a week, do it continually. Don't take a month break or anything like that, because it's hard to get that momentum back a lot of times. I would also say be active in the community. That's another thing too. If you are interested in film and you want to make a movie or a YouTube channel around movies and stuff like that, check out other people's channels. Talk to them. Get interactive. That will, make them interested in checking out your videos as well. And just do content you enjoy. Don't do it to try to become popular or make money, because chances are you'll get let down. Just have fun with it. Be consistent. Be active in the community. Those are the 3 biggest tips that I can give. I think I might have caught up to all the old comments here. For everybody who's watching this, let me know what your favorite Quentin Tarantino movie is. Again, I'm going to have to go with Pulp Fiction, but The Hateful Eight, I really want to get that, I think it was the Mondo poster, but Hateful Eight for me, again, I love movies with the snowy setting, absolutely loved it, and there was one part that caught me off guard, and then the Samuel L. Jackson part at the end too, I just love it. It was unrelenting, and I love the way that it played out. Scrolling through. Cashback? I haven't seen Cashback. Orc is in the Don Juan. Orc. He was part of the Sausage Factory crew. I haven't talked to you in a while. I know you sent me a message before that you wanted to make my live stream. Thank you for making the live stream. I need some drink. It's actually cranberry juice. No purple drink in that cup, in that red Solo cup. It's great to see some people in here who I used to, like Orc on here is somebody who's been in the community for a long time. And I used to do some live streams with him before on the Sausage Factory. The Hills Have Eyes, the Arrow video box set is incredible. One of the highest recommendations I would give for Arrow video releases. Absolutely phenomenal for me. Arrow Video does such an amazing job on their releases in general, but their box sets especially. Yes, I love The Leftovers. In fact, I need to watch. I've only seen the first 2 seasons. But those ones were amazing, and I really want to watch the rest of it. Yeah, Pieces for me, Jeff Overing, I don't know. It was just, I love the beginning and ending, but then the middle was just too chaotic and jumbled, and I didn't love it. So, but no, I know a lot of people enjoy it. Jay Jarvis, what's going on? How are you? Drexel, did you get the Sublime name from the band or completely unrelated? Alright, here is a pretentious admission from me. When I first made this screen name, which was my AOL Instant Messenger screen name forever ago, I was thinking, what could be cool? I had like an Absolute ad on my wall for vodka and then a Sublime CD. I was like, Absolute Sublime one. So that's the truth. The band and then the vodka back in the day. But then when people ask me, as you know, now I'm like, because life is absolutely sublime. which is so pretentious, but I do like that concept behind it because it is true. Life is absolutely sublime. But yes, genuinely, it was the band Sublime. Joe Green, what's up? Pinoy Ride, what's going on? Good to see you on here. I feel like I haven't seen you in here for a while, Pinoy Ride. Django Unchained is a great one for sure. Do you think we'll eventually go to war with North Korea? I don't know. I don't want to think about it. I don't think so. Not, at least not right now. If we do, it'll be because they initiated something with somebody else and we step in, I feel like. Yes, Doctor Strangelove is a classic for sure. It's a very long title, so I'm just going to keep it with Doctor Strangelove. Scrolling through. Yes, thank you, Mr. JBuzz19, which I love that name as well. Orc, hopefully you can be on the Sausage Factory next coming season. Absolutely, let me know when it is, and we can work that out. Thoughts on 12 Years a Slave? I thought it was phenomenal. I thought it was essentially our roots, like this generation's roots. I think it was an incredible movie, and I love when that director, Steve McQueen, not the actor, the director, teams up with Michael Fassbender. They do phenomenal jobs together. Shame, and then what was the other one too? I can't remember the one where he was like starving, but I can't remember right now. But they do phenomenal jobs together. But yeah, 12 Years a Slave is an incredible film. That is a modern masterpiece in my opinion. And Michael Fassbender's performance was incredible, riveting. I loved everybody's performance in there. I like Brad Pitt, of course, Lupita Nyong'o. Then I always mess up his name, Chiwetel Ejiofor. And he's been around for so long. I feel ashamed that I always mess it up. I've actually looked up how to pronounce his name before. But yeah, he's incredible. I remember first seeing him. I saw him so many times in other movies, but he was in Four Brothers. I really loved him in that one too. I'm not a big fan of the Transformers franchise, so I haven't checked out that one. Thank you for the beard compliment. I appreciate that. True Romance is incredible. Yeah, Tony Scott directed. In fact, they had a big argument on the filming of it, especially the ending. I personally love Tony Scott's ending way better than Quentin Tarantino's. But it's funny to hear the commentary about it and them arguing about it. And yeah, Coffee. I know they both have releases. I mean, again, I would go with Arrow Video just for the supplements. Hunger, thank you, Hunger. Thank you, Emu. Your thoughts on The Lost Boys? It's a friggin' classic. All right, here's a guilty pleasure of mine. TMZ. It's celebrity gossip. I hate myself for watching it. But recently they did a thing where Corey Feldman was doing a concert and he hit himself in the teeth with the microphone and knocked one of his teeth out. They found the tooth and hopefully they put it back in for him. But it's funny, he was getting criticism for the crowd. But one of the comments, somebody yelled out, "Lost Boys was okay." I'm like, that's such a hilarious thing to shout out. Like basically saying, you're not a really good actor, but that movie was okay. But he's been in tons of great stuff. I mean, Stand By Me is one of my all-time favorites as well. Lost Boys is a vampire classic for sure. Thoughts of Daniel Day-Lewis? I know that's... I mean, Daniel Day-Lewis is, to me, one of the greatest actors of all time. He's been around for so long. Again, Last of the Mohicans is in my top 5. But, I mean, he's done so many great films. I am, sweating right now. It's so hot. And I'm under this bright light. But, yeah, PTA and him, Paul Thomas Anderson, they do a phenomenal job together. And in fact, that makes me think about this film, which I was just talking to somebody about recently. What's up, Wriggler? That's my dog. What a good boy you are. There Will Be Blood, another one of my all-time favorite movies. And I love that slipcover. Very happy to have that slipcover. But yeah, a classic film. One of the best American films in the past, 20 years or so, in my opinion. But I just wanted to come out here and show that to you real quick and talk about that film. But he's been around for so long. Was it My Left Foot that he did way back in the day? He's done so many amazing films. So Daniel Day-Lewis retiring is a huge blow in the acting community, in the movie community, in cinema in general. Definitely one of the best actors out there. I'm a big fan of him, Gary Oldman as well, as far as modern actors. couple of my favorites. Thoughts on Kill Your Friends. It makes me want to watch American Psycho. I thought Kill Your Friends was a really good movie, but it just makes me think of American Psycho and just can't live up to that. So, yeah, that's the thing. I think it's a shame. It was too much like that, and it's just nowhere near as good. But it's still a good movie. It's just hard to, you make a movie that's so similar to another movie, you're going to have that comparison there, and it's hard to live up to that. He did lose the tooth, yeah. I love your channel. I've been a subscriber for only a week, and I've seen at least half your channel. Wow. One man drumline. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hats off to you. I've made a ton of videos on here for over the years, so I appreciate that. He said he glued it back in. Raider Nation Cali. That's hilarious. I thought he went to like a legit dentist to do it, but I think it's creepy that I'm in Poughkeepsie and there's a horror movie named after it. Yeah, I think we might have talked about this before. I lived right by Poughkeepsie, so that was a movie that always creeped me out because of that fact. I lived in Orange County before New York, so yeah. Yeah, that was one that definitely creeped me out, partly because of I used to live there. Just film watching From Dusk Till Dawn. Yeah, Dusk Till Dawn is a classic. I actually like all three of the movies. Texas Blood Money was the sequel. Everybody crapped on that one. And even Hangman's Daughter, the third one, I thought was pretty good. Nice dog. That's my dog. I have There Will Be Blood, but I haven't seen it yet. Stop everything you're doing and watch There Will Be Blood. It is an American classic. One of the best American films in the past 20 years. Best movie you've seen on a plane. I haven't been on a plane in like 15 years. I have a fear of flying now. When I was younger, I flew all over the place, but now the idea of it freaks me the heck out. I would have to take all kinds of stuff to get on there. I'd have to probably be boozed up. Did you watch The Sandlot on the 4th of July? No, I have not, but I do have The Sandlot. That is another nostalgia childhood classic movie for me. That's a good idea, though. I wish I would have thought about that. You know what I watched on July 4th? Battleship. That's what I watched on July 4th, and I feel terrible for that. It was essentially like a low-budget, crappy version of Independence Day. Independence Day is usually what I watch on Independence Day. Resurgence War's garbage, but yeah, I do love the original one with Will Smith. Will Smith could not have saved Resurgence. But yeah, Sandlot, that would have been a good idea for sure. There Will Be Blood might get a Criterion release. I'm all for it. I think they always do a great job with their supplements, so that's one thing I could support them. At least when other companies do it, you know, they just throw like a new artwork and then call it a day essentially. But Criterion Collection, when they do a film that's already been released before, they just put so many more supplements in there that you can justify the purchase. It's not just the transfer new artwork, it's the supplements. And if you're a fan of the film, which if you're a fan of Criterion Collection and you're buying them, then you're a fan of cinema and collecting. So there you go. Hold on, scrolling through. Paid in Full. I know the name of that movie, but I can't picture it right now. Remind me who's in it. Paid in Full, I know the name of it, but I just can't think of it. We did talk about it before, yeah. He went backstage and glued it in and came back and continued performing. I did not know that. Steven Castero, what's going on? Yes, do your movie marathon. I really want to do a 24-hour movie marathon challenge. I talk about it all the time throughout the years on here. I've never done it. Luke from Razor Wire Reviews, and then Ryan Chataway always do it. Ryan Chataway was like the creator of it on here. But I really want to do it. I'm not too excited for Spider-Man Homecoming. I'm more excited for Deadpool 2, basically because I'm a big fan of Cable. Cable was my favorite comic book character growing up, so I'm super excited. I hope Josh Brolin does well. He wasn't my first choice, kind of came out of left field for me. I would have really loved to see Ron Perlman in the role, but I hope that he does well, and I would love to see, you know, X-Force, New Mutants, Six Pack, Cable get his own movie, spinoff. I couldn't get there. Will Be Blood, I tried multiple times and no success. Sorry to hear that. I mean, they should have it on Amazon, though. Favorite Wes Anderson movie? Probably... Oh, it's so tough. I kind of want to say Royal Tannenbaums. I'm going to go with Royal Tannenbaums, then Darjeeling Limited for me. Just was watching WWE's WCW DVD. I used to, back in the day, I was really big into wrestling, especially WCW. I preferred them back at the time. Holy crap, I fear flying too, and I'm flying to North Carolina in August. Raider Nation Cali, my heart goes out to you. I'm glad I'm not alone in that. You can do it. You can get through it. I'm sending you positive thoughts, and I wish you the best, man. Let me know how it goes. Positivity right here for you, man. You can do it. I believe in you. Uh, Wood Harris, Omar Epps. I love Omar Epps. I know the name of the movie. I'm thinking of In Too Deep is what I'm thinking of. But I got to look that one up. Cameron from Dipset. Dipset. I'm going to see both those movies, Volume 1. If you're into TV shows, Blood Drive. I've heard of it. I saw the commercials for it, but I haven't checked it out yet. But I'm going to take another sip because I feel like I'm talking like the Matchbox man back in the day. If you guys remember those commercials, you're talking like a mile a minute. Yes, I have seen Kill List. A really interesting kind of cult movie from the UK. I have it somewhere. I would try to point it out, but I haven't organized anything yet, still. I just found it. Right from my peripheral vision right down there. There it is. Kill List. Bottom shelf. Really good cult movie. It was definitely one that caught me by surprise. I saw it years ago now. But I definitely think it is one that's underrated. I don't know if the Indiana Jones trilogy on VHS is really worth anything. I could be mistaken. I don't know the value on that one. It's the greatest pay-per-view. Wendy Peppercorn knows exactly what she's doing. Classic. I love when he goes in there for it. Yeah. That's such a great movie. Phenomenal. And James Earl Jones in there, too. Was Benny the Jet. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, back in the day, I loved wrestling up until I would say like 2000 is really when I got out of wrestling. I tried watching it recently, and I feel like it was mostly talk. I feel like it was 90% talking. I'm like, oh my gosh, he jumped off and kicked the guy, and I was like, yes, some action. And then he just got up and walked away. I'm like, that's it? Like all this talking. I know you have to like promote, and you know they've got pay-per-view specials, but it was just too much talking. Anytime Raider Nation Cali. Picking up Poughkeepsie Tapes on Blu-ray when it comes out. Me too. That is a day one pre-order purchase for me. I do like Jim Norton's comedy. I got to see him before. I've seen him a few times in my local comedy club, Stress Factory. Shout out to the Stress Factory Comedy Club in New Brunswick, New Jersey. The best comedy club I've ever been to. They've got some great guests. They just had Sinbad there. I really wanted to go, but I couldn't make it. But I've seen Jim Norton there a couple times. I don't know if I got a picture with him, and I might have gotten a picture with him years ago. But I remember he used to hang out with a couple girlfriends of mine back in the day. I feel like if you waited for him after the show and you didn't have boobs, you weren't going to get much attention. I don't blame him, though. I don't blame him at all. Hopefully he's staying clean, because I remember seeing him before just whacked out of his mind. So I hope he's doing better. But yeah, I think he's hilarious. He can sometimes go a bit off the rails. Have you seen Bad Boys with Sean Penn? Yes. I remember that one was the one where he stuffed the pillowcase full of like soda cans, I think. Is that what it was? And he beat the crap out of somebody. That was early Sean Penn days. He did that one. He did Colors back in the day too. Digibooks. Patrice O'Neal is one of my all-time favorite comedians. In fact, that was the first stand-up comedy show I ever watched back in the day. It was the first time I ever went to the Stress Factory Comedy Club back in the day. I was pledging my fraternity, and it was a pledge event, I believe. A rush event, in fact. Actually, yeah, it was a rush event before I even became a full pledge. And they brought us to the Stress Factory, and I'm so thankful for that experience. One of the best things to come out of pledging my fraternity. But yeah, Patrice O'Neal is one of my all-time favorite comedians. Phenomenal. But hold on, somebody asked me something I can't remember what it was. Oh, the Digibooks. Here's my Digibook collection. I would say Falling Down is one I would highly recommend. 300 I thought was amazing. The Little Shop of Horrors, Jaws, Taxi Driver is probably one of the best Blu-ray releases out there in my opinion. Bridge Over the River Kwai, it has a Digibook inside of that pack, so I kind of put it in there. There's Dr. Strangelove. There's a ton of great releases. A Clockwork Orange as well. So yeah. Greg Giraldo was another one of my favorites too. He passed away in New Brunswick, in fact. The last show he ever played was at Stress Factory. I wish I would have gotten a picture with him. Back in the day, I didn't really think about taking pictures or getting autographs or stuff like that. I wish I did back then, though. When's the collection video happening? Soon. I'm going to try to do that soon because I want to organize everything and go through stuff. I'm planning. I thin out my collection all the time, even though it doesn't look like it. It's a battle. It's a constant ebb and flow, and I definitely want to thin it out more. If I can't see myself rewatching the movie, or I question if I really want to keep it, then it's time to get rid of it. How about Chris Penn and Footloose? He was so goofy back in the day, but yeah, Joey Diaz is good. He's been there a bunch too. Did you ever pick up Fright Night 2 media book from Germany yet? No, I have not. I definitely want to, though. Is it region free? That's the only thing I can't remember. I think it is, though. Yeah, it totally is region free. That's right, because I remember I was doing my top 10 horror movies that need a Blu-ray release, and that would have totally been on the list, but it is region free, so I need to pick that up. Thank you for reminding me my name. My name is... Alright, everybody who's watching... Yes, actually, yeah. All right, Shout Select, 3 O'Clock High. I love the heck out of that movie. I watched that all the time as a kid. I still have the DVD for it. 3 O'Clock High was a Buddy Revell, I think was the villain. Do I still remember that? Is that correct? But yeah, 3 O'Clock High. I'm souped for that one. In fact, I think the movie Fist Fight with Ice Cube and Charlie Day from Always Sunny, to me that was like an adult version of 3 O'Clock High. But 3 O'Clock High is an awesome, hilarious high school bully movie. Love the heck out of that one. Very excited for that. Where were you when the Cubs won it last year? I was in Wrigleyville. I am so jealous of you being there. My dog's name is Wrigley. I was watching it at home. So excited. I couldn't believe it. I was posting all over social media about it. It was amazing. I wish I was somewhere more exciting. I wish it was out at the bar, but I think it went really late, I believe. So I think I had work the next day. So yeah, but that was an amazing experience. I'm really jealous that you were at Wrigleyville. So that was incredible. That's probably a lifelong memory that you'll always cherish and appreciate. And it's amazing. I wish the Cubs were doing a little bit better this year. They still have time to turn around though. Favorite performance of a comedian in a serious role. You know what? I would have to say maybe Jim Carrey. I really loved him in The Truman Show. I would consider that kind of a more serious role. But Robin Williams did some really good stuff in serious roles. 24-Hour Photo, that was a really good one. But I love Fisher King. He was great in there too. But I think a lot of comedians can do serious roles. I mean, Adam Sandler. I'm not a big fan of Punch Drunk Love, but I know a lot of people love that one. But I want to say there was somebody, every time that gets brought up before, there's another comedian that I'm trying to think of. I can't remember right now, but there's another comedian that did a serious film, and I wish he would do more. I can't remember who it was right now. It is region free. Just bought one, and Cinema Sickness one should be in his video Saturday. That's very generous of you. Owen Wilson. I don't really think of Owen Wilson as a comedian, though. Like, I think of... Did you say comedic actor or comedian? Because that's... I don't think of Owen Wilson as a comedian. He's done comedic acting roles, sure. Scrolling through the comments. Car Wash. That's a good classic one, too. Yeah, Good Will Hunting. Obviously a classic. Cinemax Movie Reviews. What's going up? Raider Nation Cali. Oh, Kids Incorporated. I totally remember that. Holy moly, that's a throwback. I haven't thought about Kids Incorporated since I was a kid. That is a crazy... Yeah, why not? Throw it on there. Yeah, Eternal... Yeah, of course. I did see The Cobbler. I talked about it a couple of years ago. I thought it was a good movie, but I'm not sure I'd ever really want to watch it again. I feel like there's too many other good movies out there to watch. I thought it was decent. Not great, but not bad. I would give it like 6.5 or something like that. But I definitely think it was one that went under the radar. I don't know if it got a Blu-ray release or not, but I know I had the DVD for it briefly. But I thought it was decent. I think it should have gotten more recognition than it did, considering some of the other movies that he's put out. But I think I am going to call this one a wrap because it is getting late, and this is one of the things I love about it though. Like, I felt like I've only been on here like 10 minutes, and it's been 55 minutes. So, I do. All right. Stephen Lapierre. It's so funny you say that because I just picked up... Bam! Just picked it up. this deserves a Blu-ray release as well. But I'm gonna do that's kind of a a preview of an update that I haven't done yet. So yes. Yeah, I know it's only 11:30, but I have work in the morning, and I'm hot as friggin' heck in here, and I want to finish Dillinger. I started Dillinger, the movie, it's an Arrow release. But yes, I'm gonna take it easy now. Thank you for everybody tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Assault on Precinct 13, the original, is a classic. The remake was okay, but the original is a classic for sure. The next live stream, I don't ever plan these things out. It's kind of a spur of the moment thing whenever I do it. But cheers to everybody who tuned in. I really appreciate it. I love the instant interaction. I think it's awesome, especially now that it's so easily accessible from my cell phone, my iPhone. So thank you for tuning in. And if you have any movie recommendations for me, please leave them. Once this video stops going live and is posted to YouTube, leave me your movie recommendations comment, because all the comments that are scrolling through right now disappear once the video gets posted to YouTube. So please come back to this video and leave me a comment letting me know a movie you would like to see me watch and review. So thank you again for everybody who... oh yes, the Peanut Butter Solution on Blu-ray. It's a Canadian release only. I definitely plan to pick that up. Steve, you caught me off guard with that. Thank you again for everybody who tuned in. I really appreciate it. Have a great night. Cheers.